It's the National Football League on EA Sports, where representatives from the AFC and NFC will square off. It's the Raiders and the Lions on Sunday Night Primetime.
The seating capacity is 65,000 at Ford Field, and we are right around that number today. A good crowd on hand and seemingly ready to go in the Motor City. Tonight, we've got a great Sunday night matchup on tap, as it'll be the Las Vegas Raiders taking on the Detroit Lions. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, the wait is over. The regular season is upon us. It is kickoff weekend around the NFL. Our two teams here getting in a final tune-up, but let's look ahead to the 2023 season. What are you going to be watching for?
How about some of the recognizable new faces in new places? Aaron Rodgers, Derek Carr, Odell Beckham Jr. The identity of teams under new coaches in places like Houston, Carolina, and Denver. And then, of course, the rookies. After the draft, we want to see how they perform.
Here's the former Auburn kicker Daniel Carlson to get this one started. And we are underway from Ford Field. Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here. Past midfield, look out. Khalif Raymond. And a terrific return as they finally do stop him, but not before he's inside the 15.
Brandon, that's giving your team a big burst to start things off. Already beginning a drive in the red zone. Hallelujah.
Well, the Lions offense getting ready to go to work here, and under center, a man whose career has been rejuvenated a bit as of late. In season number 8 now out of Cal, it's Jared Goff.
Rumors of Goff's demise? Greatly exaggerated, it seems. Boy, what a big year he had last year. 29 touchdowns and led the Lions to their first winning season since 2017. Under his leadership, the Lions expect to make the playoffs for the first time in a few seasons.
A nice display of powerful running, but it takes him only to the 7. He's dropped there. 5 yards on the game's first play, second down.
A lot of people call the toss a probing play, to see what they can get against a defense, to see how they adjust and react. Their probing's working pretty well. That was a very nice run.
Back to Montgomery on second down. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. 2 straight runs of 5 yards, first and 10. Well, we know it's a tough mission for this defense to hold them to a field goal after that long kick return, but they're one play away from doing it.
They certainly are very close to accomplishing what they needed to get done, because they've treated this like a sudden change. You know, when the offense turns the ball over on a fumble or an interception, before you go out, you get together as a defense and go, sudden change, keep your poise, be ready to go. That's exactly what this group has done.
Only a yard on the completion. It's second and goal. Here's Goff. And that is caught. Touchdown, Detroit. Jared Goff to Amon-Ra St. Brown. And the Lions put the night's first points on the board as they take the early lead. So second and goal there from the 1. They go to the air.
And the perfect down to throw the football in this sequence. Second down is always kind of the, do they throw it, do they run it? They worked it out to perfection on that one by throwing it into the end zone.
Extra point by Patterson, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. And Patterson back out there to send this one away. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. The Raiders offense heading out with their new man under center for 2023, the former Patriot, former 49er, Jimmy Garoppolo.
It's another typical season for Jimmy G last year. When he was out there, he was excellent, leading the 49ers to 7 wins and throwing 4 times as many touchdowns as interceptions. Then the injury bug bit again. But Las Vegas, they're counting on him being able to do the exact same thing they saw in San Francisco.
And nothing but green grass here, middle of the field. He's on his way. And he gets it all the way down to the 3. It's a big play there for Vegas. 74 yards on the ground. So down inside the 5-yard line. I have to say, really just a poor job defensively there.
You're exactly right. As a former defensive back, that was not played well at all. But give credit to the offense and give credit to the guy running the football. He gets it down all the way inside the 5.
After the big play, a chance to finish now on 1st and goal. Garoppolo. And he wisely will throw that one away.
And down here, 1st and goal, if it's not there, don't force it. You've got at least 2, if not 3 more shots at it. So that's a wise move to get rid of it.
They'll go again from the 3 here on 2nd and goal. Jacobs. Oh, he's going absolutely nowhere as he is hit behind the line. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down. A tale of 2 extremes. First carry, he went for a bundle. His second goes backward.
And how many times have we seen that happen? Because you get that big carry, and you come back and you're all fired up, and sometimes you force a run a little bit, right? Trying to break off that big carry again, and instead it works opposite.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Great defense there on 3rd and goal. They took away everything. Forced him to fire that one to the sideline where no one could get it.
So off is Garoppolo, and in comes Daniel Carlson for the Raider field goal. From the left hash, a chip shot here. Carlson able to put this one through. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
After the made field goal, Carlson now sets up to kick this away. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. Back onto the field come the Lions for their 2nd overall drive. First and 10, and kind of tipping their hand at running the ball. 3 tight ends are out there. To Montgomery to begin the drive. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
Nice satisfying run on 1st down for the offense, picking up 5, which means defensively, the thought process is entirely different. You don't want to panic, but at the same time, you're saying to each other, we've got to tighten this down. We can't give up gains like that.
Here's a 2nd and 5. Now a play fake, and it's gone. Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Here's Goff. Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
And that is how you respond after taking one on the chin to begin this game. Give up a first drive touchdown? go back out on defense and completely shut them down to force a 3-and-out.
Jack Fox out to punt here on 4th down. DeAndre Carter back deep. This is taken at the 23. 43 yards on the punt, 7-yard return, and the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. Second drive of the game coming up for this Las Vegas offense. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it. Forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize. Like going to the county fair, you don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material. Now a first carry for Brandon Bolden. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
I thought that was a good call. Passing situation on 2nd down. They hit him with a draw instead and pick up nice yardage.
Yeah, because the draw, they're thinking pass when they see that initially defensively, right?
But you know in today's NFL, most of the time on 2nd and long when it's a passing situation, pass rushers are on the field and they're only thinking one thing, get to the quarterback. And oftentimes you can bypass him with a running play.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. That makes him now 0 for 2 here in the first quarter on 3rd down conversions.
And now they'll look to their defense because they need them to step up so they don't fall further behind here in the early going.
So on 4th down, here's A.J. Cole to punt for the Raiders. Back deep, Khalif Raymond. Taking it about the 16. Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. And the Lions will take over. And Detroit getting set to go now. Obviously not the intended goal last drive. They had to punt the football, but still they've got the lead here and now a chance to add on to that lead if they can get points on this drive. 1st and 10 upcoming. Well, here's a good way to kick off a drive, complete over the middle. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a 1st down. Now it's gone. And that is incomplete. Now the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
One thing you hope to see out of a rookie tight end is a real concentration when the ball's in the air, and I'm not sure that he didn't, but he has to be prepared for people making a play on it when that ball's up for grabs.
2nd and 10. Goff. And down he goes. Brought down a Raiders sack. Divine Diablo dropping him behind the line of scrimmage.
Partner, the Mike linebacker, the middle linebacker has so many different responsibilities. How excited do you think he was to get home with that blitz?
Yeah, he wants a sack. He got it. So now following the sack, Goff and the Lions needing to come up with something here on 3rd and long. They'll set up the screen to Montgomery. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. That's going to bring up 4th down, only a gain of 2 there.
I wonder what was going through his mind when he got the play call. He just got sacked on the previous play. He knows they're coming after him again. A little bit of guts to stand in there, take the hit, and successfully complete the screen pass. Really well done.
And here now the punter Fox as he sends this one away. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. Now the Vegas offense heading back out there. Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, they had to punt it away. This time hoping to finish this thing off in the end zone. They'll begin on the ground with Jacobs. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
No daylight for him to run through there, and he ran into the defensive tackle, and that guy blocks a whole lot of daylight as it is. He is truly a big man who just made a big play.
To throw is Garoppolo. Can't get away, and he's taken down. Derek Barnes. The blitz works to perfection as he gets in there to dump him for a loss of 8. Well, there was second long. Now it's third and even longer. They're going in the wrong direction here.
Because they're moving exactly the way they want to, but you're exactly right. Definitely going in the wrong direction for the offensive guys.
So the sack of Garoppolo. And now what can they come up with on third and long? They'll drop to throw. And the pressure gets to him again. Multiple players getting home there for an 8-yard loss.
Well, if an offense is going to throw the ball on this part of the field, any pass rusher will tell you that's his favorite part. Gets a chance to get after the quarterback. It's almost like a reverse red zone. They can create points using their defense, and this time they take their man down.
So from their own end zone here, this kicks away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. Detroit's offense ready to take over. No points last time out. They were forced to punt, if you remember, but no time to dwell on that. They've still got the lead here and a chance to add to that here. 1st and 10 as this new drive starts. Completing it here, Marvin Jones. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. First down yardage on the first play of the drive, 14 yards.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. He was trying to find Marvin Jones that time, and now it's second down. Now Goff. Now that'll be caught by St. Brown. And he's going to get this inside the 30. He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a first down.
I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. But you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
First down, here's the run with Montgomery. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
Off play action. Here's Goff. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's third down.
He's got 1 touchdown pass already in this quarter, obviously looking for number 2, and definitely not playing the check down game.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. To throw is Goff. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up 4th down.
And what did we talk with them about prior to the game? Their ability to move the chains, pick up first downs. So far, 0 for 3 on 3rd down. If that continues, they'll have little chance of winning this one.
Patterson's kick is good. And they push the lead up to a touchdown now at 10-3. So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
Well, things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front 7? As they got closer to the goal line, things stiffened a little bit, forced the field goal.
And Patterson back out there to send this one away. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. The Vegas offense ready for their next possession. Defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. 1st and 10. And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down. Derek Barnes, now 2 sacks for him already here in this first quarter of play. He continues, Charles, to be under constant pressure, and these sacks, they're starting to pile up.
And if they want to have a realistic chance in this one, they've got to change their blocking assignments. They've got to do a better job to keep him upright. If he's going to be on the deck constantly, they've got no chance to win this game.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. On the draw, Bolden. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. Just a 1-yard loss that time, but that's not what they needed. Now they're dealing with a 3rd and long.
Sometimes being a linebacker in the middle of the field is kind of like being a doctor on the field. You got to make the right diagnosis. Here he correctly sets his run and shoots through to make the play in the backfield.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And Bolden brings it in, complete. And they'll bring him down here right around the 17-yard line. That's going to bring up 4th down, only a gain of 2 there.
Boy, that was certainly well-read defensively, and the key to any screenplay is space to work, and there was none to be found there, and they tackle him for just a short gain.
On 4th down, A.J. Cole comes on to punt. And he's getting a workout here in this first quarter as he gets it away. And it's fielded at the 34. So a change of possession here on the punt. And they will take over 1st and 10. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
They'll come up 2nd and 7. Goff now looking to throw. Caught by Jones. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 15 yards for the Lions there on a 1st down.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a 1st down.
Now a 1st down throw. Goff. He'll leave it for Montgomery, complete. No gain on the play. And that will bring up 2nd down. They couldn't get anything going there out on the right side in the flat of the swing pass.
And didn't we have a discussion with their staff about wanting to get the backs more involved in the passing game? Huge emphasis for this game, but obviously the defense had other plans and really made a nice play.
On 2nd down, Montgomery. Great move by Montgomery. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. 1st down Lions on a pickup of 13. 10-3 our score after 1 here on EA Sports. 2nd quarter action now from Detroit, and it's the homestanding Lions who have the football. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. As they've got it as we resume action. Meanwhile, Goff's throw complete there to St. Brown. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Now a 2nd and 2. They'll try the middle with Montgomery, and he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
But we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. 48 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far.
Partner, there are strong running plays, and then there are plays where you simply outclass the defense, and we saw the latter there. They ran straight up the heart of that front for an excellent gain and first down. Simply put, you've got to put up more of a fight defending the middle. Otherwise, this is going to be a long game.
They'll run with Montgomery. No dice this go-around. He's hit behind the line and taken down. A loss of 2 there, 2nd down.
We knew both of these safeties were good in run support, but how about the play we just saw there? How about that closing speed? Able to get to the outside part of the field and turn that play into a loss.
So they get pushed back to the 11, and here's 2nd and goal. Again, they'll go ground with Montgomery. They showed some tough running, but they'll drop him at the 5-yard line. A nice run there as he picks up 6. It's going to be 3rd and goal now. Defensively, I think they can smell a stop. Ball right around the 5 here, brings up 3rd.
And I think what they've done is they put doubt in the minds of the offensive guys. What do we do? Because now you don't have a go-to play. Either side they pick, throwing.
And he has his receiver. That's Jones. Lions touchdown. A 5-yard touchdown catch, and the Lions have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. And down near the goal line here, they're able to throw it in.
And the key word, quick. Quick hitter, out of his hands fast, into the receiver's hands even faster.
Patterson now for the extra point. It's up and good, and that makes it 17-3. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And the end result, a Detroit touchdown. And Patterson back out there to send this one away. And able to get this out to the 25. And now here come the Raiders. And Garoppolo going to lead the Raiders up here 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And this throw a bit late as he couldn't reach back for it.
So many things have to go right for any passing play to work out. Quarterback has to understand the defense, deliver an accurate ball. Receiver has to concentrate and bring it in. Somewhere along the assembly line, something was off with that one.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. His throw incomplete.
Nice back-to-back plays defensively. They're stacking momentum now. 1 incompletion, 2 incompletion. They're going for more.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. To throw, it's Garoppolo. And that will be incomplete. The passing game not in sync here early. And now it's 4th down.
Well, this first half has not gone according to plan so far, offensively or even defensively for that matter. They could use a big-time spark somewhere, but it's not going to come on this drive as they have to punt this one away.
Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. They'll look to set up his blockers. It's a 49-yard punt, but subtract 9 there for the return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The Lions and Jared Goff about ready to take over once more. He had the touchdown pass on the last drive, his 2nd of this first half, as he'll try again on 1st down here. A short pass here taken in by Laporta. So give them 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and that'll bring up second down. A shotgun snap for Goff. A short pass here taken in by Laporta. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. They picked up 5 yards last time. Now they double it and get 10 here.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
Going up the gun, Montgomery. And this will be taken across midfield and into Raider territory. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down.
A nice chunk play from the tight end position, and it illustrates the cohesiveness that he and his quarterback have. Both saw the extra defender doubling him up, and they still combined for the completion and big gain.
Now a give running right is Montgomery. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Hustling through to break that play up, Max Crosby.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
Back to Montgomery on second down. Oh, what a move. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 64 yards for him on the ground so far tonight as he has been terrific in this first half. Here's the 7th play of this drive. This is 3rd and 4. Gone. He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
So it looked like maybe his 3rd or his 4th read on his progression. Just trying to find his outlet man that time. Ends up leading him just a bit too much.
On 4th down, Goff to the sidelines, and Detroit has Riley Patterson out there for the field goal. He hit his first. Now this one from 48 yards away. Patterson's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So he splits the uprights, and has to be a nice feeling. Right when it left his foot, knew it was good.
Yeah, just like a good three-point shooter in basketball, right? Release the ball, fall back on defense without even looking. You know it's going in the hoop.
And Patterson back out there to send this one away. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Here's Las Vegas ready to take the field. And Garoppolo going to lead the Raiders up here 1st and 10 at their own 26. They'll try and start this drive in the air. A short throw, and that's hauled in by Mayer. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
He's a rookie, and you don't want to get hung up on the word potential, but when you see him make catches like that, you keep thinking to yourself, he's good now. He's got a chance to be great with plenty of work.
2nd down and 4. This to Jacobs on the toss right. Oh, some strong running. Now, during that run, an injury here. We got one of those big blockers in some discomfort. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Here's Bolden. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. It's a loss of 4 on the 1st down play.
Well, it's almost football 101 that you preach to your safeties. Don't let anyone get behind you. You're the last line of defense. But he didn't let the play come to him. He went to the play. How about that read and recognition and finishing off that one behind the line of scrimmage?
Garoppolo to throw on 2nd down. A dump off here to Bolden. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down, but a nice little gain.
I think the best offenses love to get the ball to their running backs in open space because they have the ability to make people miss, and they also have the ability to run over people. And if you do that throughout the game, after a while, they might just run through some of those tackles and go a long way.
Well, we saw him shed a nice tackle on that play. Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
That is certainly one way to frustrate a quarterback. Run those extra defenders on the field. Dime package, lots of speed, no space to fit in the football.
Here's A.J. Cole now to punt this one away. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. And this one's out of bounds. Should be inside the 10, I think it is. At the 6-yard line. David Montgomery and the Lions about set to begin this next series. And it may just be the 2nd quarter, but he's in his zone, well on his way to eclipsing that 100-yard mark.
And when a back has a game, as we're witnessing right now, his name's going to be in the books, but it's really a collective deal, isn't it? Because that means he's getting plenty of blocking, a lot of help from his teammates, but he's making the most of it.
Yeah, he's made the most of it to this point.
Partner, so many times in games we see the most difficult acrobatic catches, whether it's on offense or even interceptions. In this case, this ball's tipped and popped up in the air, and it looks like a chance for a pick. And guess what? For whatever reason, they just couldn't finish the play.
And he's going to be taken down shy of the 10, right around the 9-yard line. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up. They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the 1st down. Throwing on 3rd, Goff. And that went to the right side and incomplete.
That might be the 3rd down stop that they needed because they've had a lot of trouble slowing down this offense in the 1st half. This might be their opportunity to get off the field.
Here comes the Lions punter now as he's on to kick it away. He's been a busy man here in this 1st half as he gets it away. And a fair catch is taken here, a step or 2 inside the 45-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And it'll be Raiders football, 1st and 10. And Garoppolo going to lead the Raiders up here, 1st and 10. At their own 46. Back to throw. He gets this to Devontae Adams. And he's brought down. The drive starting with a 1st down, 11 yards on that pickup. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
A run on 1st down with Jacobs as he'll get this forward for about 4. 2nd and 6 coming up.
Nice chunky yards on 1st down. It really opens up your options for what you want to do on 2nd. You go right back to him and hope he explodes, or sucker the defense in before throwing over the top.
From the 39-yard line, here comes 2nd down and 6. Garoppolo. And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield.
A lot of bad news on that play for them, wasn't there? Lost the football, lost a lot of yardage, but I think the good news outweighs it. Able to retain possession. That was big for them.
So possession still theirs, but now they face a third down. Looking to throw. Garoppolo. Under pressure, they got him again. Taken down for the 5th time this game. Multiple defenders there to get him.
You doing okay over there, partner? Because that's yet another sack in this game that you just had to call. We're not even at halftime yet. No wonder this team has the lead. What an effort by the defense right from the word go. The adjustments at halftime, they're going to have to be big or this could really get ugly in the second half.
Calls for the fair catch, makes the fair catch just inside the 15-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. Goff and this Lions offense set for a 1st and 10 at their own 15. He'll begin by dropping it off to Montgomery. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. His carries tonight, they're getting up there, so maybe one of those every now and then is understandable.
I would agree with that. Understandable every now and then. Sometimes you come back and you fake it to him and go play action. But other times you say, okay, they got him on that one. We'll come back to him in another carry.
And down he'll go at the 25. 76 yards rushing for him now to this point. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Here's 3rd and a few inches. Goff now to throw. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he is going to have a Lions first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, things are definitely going right for them here in the first half. Pick a down, any down, even 3rd down, no problem. They get a connection there and pick up a fresh set of downs, continuing to move the ball.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now it's Goff. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
We've already seen him catch a few passes out of the backfield in the first half, unable to connect on that one.
Certainly seems like getting him the ball out of the passing game, though, is part of their game plan.
It certainly is because he catches it well, creates a mismatch. You're going to cover him with a linebacker, a corner, a safety. They feel like he can win every battle.
On 2nd down, here's Goff. Throw out wide is incomplete.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they didn't completions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Again, Goff. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 43. That good for 19 yards as they pick up the conversion on 3rd.
But give them credit for a good read right there because they read the man coverage on the right side and sent the tight end a few steps down the field and then angled him to the left on a crossing route. And he was able to get enough separation on this play to turn it into a nice gain.
Goff on first down. And incomplete, a drop there in the middle 3rd of the field. That'll bring up 2nd down.
I know we're just in the 2nd quarter and there's a ways to go in this game, but that's his 2nd drop. I'm wondering if that's a little bit of an alarm bell for them when they start calling plays on the offensive side of the ball.
His eyes already looking upfield on that last one before he brought it in. On 2nd and 10, Goff. On the slant, he'll get it to Jones. Flashed the stick skills, but didn't get a ton from it. Stopped short of the 35. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half. This will be play number 9 of the drive here as they need 4 yards on 3rd down. Throwing again is Goff. Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
They converted twice on third down that drive already, but couldn't make it a third. We always talk about in-game adjustments. How about what the defense did there, able to shut them down on that attempt?
So now on comes the field goal unit, and wow, this is no ordinary try here. This from 54 yards away. And he hits the upright, but it caroms in anyway. But plenty of distance there as he banks it in. And that will extend their lead even further. So he's been a busy man here in this first half. That's 3 field goals for him now.
And not just 3 field goals, but 3 for 3. So even though the offense has struggled a bit putting it in the end zone, they've still been able to come away with points due to his leg.
And Patterson back out there to send this one away. A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. The Raider offense going to head out now late in this first half. I don't think they need to be reminded of the situation here. I mean, the clock is dwindling. 3-score deficit waiting for them at halftime unless they can get something on the board here before intermission. And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. Levi Onwuzurike charging in and finishing off the sack. Well, collectively as a defense, Charles, I think if you get 4 sacks a game, you're feeling really good. Now they have 6 as a unit.
And that type of a number is just staggering because there's so many ways to try and counteract it. But in this case, they've got no answers for this unrelenting pressure coming at their quarterback.
So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much, and welcoming everyone to our downtown Orlando studios in this EA Sports Halftime Report. The Lions got a very strong performance out of their quarterback, Jared Goff. He fired his guys into the lead with 2 first-half touchdown passes as they were looking like a well-oiled machine in the first half of play.
All right, Coach, thanks very much. Fine work as always as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. The Raiders are going to have it first, and they trail here as we get back to it in this third quarter of action. DeAndre Carter now from his end zone. And he returns this to the 22. Out comes the Raiders offense. They'll go on offense first to start quarter number 3. And you have to think, Charles, down 3 scores already. They need to play an almost perfect second half to have a solid chance.
And that absolutely starts with finding some way to put together a touchdown drive here. They need to be smart, fast, efficient, get the ball into the end zone, and do it again multiple times in order to have a chance to win this game. They geared up and took the deep shot downfield, but it turned out it wasn't one-on-one coverage. Extra defenders in the area, and that one winds up incomplete.
Now a play fake. Garoppolo. Devontae Adams. He gets it across the 50 and down to the 48. A gain there of 30 big ones.
That's a real nice job right there, working the middle of the field, working against those safeties. And you know, partner, if you get your hips turned the wrong way, big plays can result.
And a big play resulted right there. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. Now Garoppolo. Here's back-to-back catches for Devontae Adams. And he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30. Give him back-to-back catches now. That one for 16 and another first down. I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They look like a different team here in the third quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there are very many trash cans that got kicked over, that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed what worked in the first half, what didn't, and figured out a better game plan.
Now Garoppolo is in trouble, and down he goes. Multiple rushers break through to drop him for the 7th time this game.
And this dominant defensive performance continued on that play. This poor quarterback has now received the protection he needs and has had to pick himself up off the turf far too often.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. Running straight ahead is Jacobs. Solid running on the carry, but still brought down just inside the 40. Give him 4 yards there, but still in a big hole. 3rd and long.
But really, that was no surprise there. They've been running it well all game, and I know goals change all the time, but any team will take that type of run each and every time.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Throwing now is Garoppolo. And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down. Alex Anzalone, his 2nd sack of the night.
Looks like another empty possession here, partner, and I don't think with 3 scores down in the 3rd quarter, they can truly afford any more the rest of the way.
No, especially the way their offense is sputtering. I think you're exactly right. They got to find some answers quickly. Here's A.J. Cole now as he's on to punt for Vegas. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds. So we get a look at the Lions offense as they get ready for their first possession of the second half. Goff and this Lions offense set for a 1st and 10 at their own 27. They'll start on the ground with Montgomery. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Look, all any running back wants is a little bit of room, a little bit of space in order to maneuver. But he also understands how difficult it is for his offensive line up front. So if they give him any space, he realizes his job to make more out of it than what they give him. Picks up 3 on that carry.
Back to Montgomery on 2nd down. It'll be a gain of 5, but still about 3 yards shy of the first down marker, and now it's 3rd down.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Here's 3rd and 3. Now it's Goff off the bootleg. That is caught. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. That gain on 3rd down, good for 28.
Time to give some credit to the big fellas, the offensive line here, because you've got to have good protection on crossing routes because you got to give your receiver time to work all the way across the field. That time able to scan the field, spot his receiver moving left to right, and make a good, accurate throw. Thank you, guys.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. Goff. A little short pass here taken in by Laporta. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave him with a 2nd and just a few inches left. Up the middle, it's Montgomery. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. Only a gain of a yard, but that's all they needed.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the 1st down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the 1st down. That's exactly what they did.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete.
This defense could use some more of these types of plays. How about him reading it, driving on the football, and he's right there for the pass breakup.
Here's 2nd and 10. Toss left to Montgomery. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. 110 yards on the ground so far for Montgomery. It's a first down. You got to give him the football again here. He gets the big run down to the 2. Pay it off.
I like it. I like the call, but here's always the question. How many times do we see the big runs and a guy pats his helmet and says, "Take me out"? Why would you go out when you've got a chance to get it again and score?
Here's Goff. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
2nd and goal, and they will try again from the 2-yard line. Montgomery will take this one in. It's a Lions touchdown. And they would not be denied on the ground, powering it in just one play after they got stopped short.
And how about how many tight ends were on the field? Because in today's NFL, we think of the tight end more as a pass catcher. But this group, they tell them you've got to be able to run block to stay on this team. And they committed to it and got it done right there.
Extra point by Patterson, up and good. And that stretches the lead all the way up to 27. And Patterson back out there to send this one away. From his end zone, here comes Carter. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down officially at the 21. The Raiders heading out to take over. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that, because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
2nd down, Jacobs once more. Trying to turn the corner, but he's going to be stopped right near the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. They tried to run it to the short side of the field. There just wasn't a whole lot of room to work with.
Yeah, it seems like things just kept getting strung out towards the sideline, and he kept looking for a spot to dive up into the gap. There just wasn't one, so that turned into nowhere to run, nowhere to hide.
And no gain. Meanwhile, Garoppolo's throw taken in by Adams. He's up to 70 yards receiving now as that last catch gets him a first down. Well, a lot of ground left to make up, obviously. A lopsided contest, and we're already in the 3rd quarter. And they won't get it all back in one play or one drive. That's cliche, but it's true, Charles. If they can just maybe get plays like that and get a little momentum built, they can get the scoreboard a little closer.
And can you add some blinders to the cliche, meaning keep these guys from looking at the scoreboard, because that doesn't help them at all right now. Their focus needs to be on finishing every drive with points and playing mistake-free football from here on out.
Now 2nd and 9. They'll stay on the ground with Jacobs. And he'll push forward to the 37, gain of 2.
He may be a bit undersized compared to the modern-day NFL defensive tackle, but what he lacks in size, he definitely makes up for in his ability to make tackles in the run game as well.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. On play action, now Garoppolo. And that's caught inside the 35. And he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30. A big gain of 31 on third down. Hey, you need a big play? Go to your big play guy.
Listen, that's football 101. When you have to have it, you expect that guy to step up. A lot of people call these receivers divas. Sometimes just leadership when they get in the huddle and say, get me the ball. I'm about to make a big play.
Throwing on first is Garoppolo. He goes right back to Adams. That's complete. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
On second down, Jacobs. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
A nice carry by Jacobs, who's coming off a career year, just when it seemed like Vegas may have been ready to move on from him. Led the NFL with over 1,600 yards and was more than deserving of his first All-Pro selection.
Inside the red zone, it's Garoppolo. Wide open receiver, complete. Touchdown Raiders. Jacoby Myers, an 18-yard touchdown grab. And the Raiders are able to make some inroads here to that deficit.
Partner, remember that old film of Peyton Manning going through the route tree with his great receivers in Indianapolis? I think we're seeing the results of the same type of work here today. These guys know each other so well, they don't even have to call the play. They can just look each other and know the route that's going to be run, and usually the connection is perfect.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the lead now down to 20. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. No run back here for Raymond. This will be a touchback. You see David Montgomery heading back out to begin the drive. And you see the last drive, great chunk of yardage, the touchdown on 5 carries. And offensively, everything just looked in sync, didn't it?
It did, and the reason that it was in sync is because it's a combination of play calling, game plan, offensive line marrying up with all of their blocks. But don't forget the receivers out on the perimeter. Any type of a long run, the receivers have had a hand in that because they've occupied people downfield. And, of course, give the big credit to the man with the football. Great vision, good movement, gets to the end zone.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Now Goff. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
There is something to a game plan with trying to keep a defense honest. With a guy with that type of speed, you do so. Send him deep, try and throw some air under it, and hope you connect downfield. On that play, they were unsuccessful.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Here's Goff. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they reach the 50. And they're able to convert on 3rd with a solid gain of 23. They were in zone defensively, went with a crossing route. It's always interesting to watch that chess match.
Yeah, and I think safeties don't mind crossing routes against zone because eventually you're going to run into their territory, and that's when they lick their chops in order to get the big hit or a play on the ball.
Offensively, nice execution to find a hole, make the catch. From the 50, it's Goff. He's got a man here. It's Montgomery. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. A big play there for Detroit. And even 40 yards.
And the offense is saying to itself right now, only they were all this easy because he was wide open. And once he made the catch, plenty of room to work his way downfield. That was a breakdown on the defensive side of the ball, one that they want to fix immediately.
The chain gang hustling to catch up. Here's first and goal from just inside the 10. The toss play to Montgomery. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. David Montgomery with now his second touchdown of this third quarter, as his guys are able to push that lead out a bit further. So a toss play there does the trick as he's into the end zone.
And you don't run this unless you're sure you've got a guy who has the speed who can get to the edge, because what you're hoping for him to win the race to the corner and turn it upfield to the end zone.
Extra point by Patterson, up and good. And that stretches the lead all the way up to 27. And Patterson back out there to send this one away. And Carter deciding not to bring this one out. Jimmy G and the Raiders now readying for their next drive. And he had the touchdown on the last drive, also 4 for 4. Very, very effective. What does he need to do to translate that forward into this drive?
Not think that what he saw in coverages last time is exactly what he's going to get again. He's got to play ahead and start thinking to himself, okay, we just did that. What are they going to take away now? What do we go to as a counter? And continue to encourage his offensive line to continue to give him time.
They were really good on the last drive. So 2nd and 10 now here in the third quarter from Detroit. Running the toss here to Jacobs. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. Officially nothing on that one, no gain, so they're left with still 10 to go on third down. He's having a big game running the football, but that one will hurt the yards per carry a little bit.
Yeah, but the average he's got so far, that's the type of average he wants to take with him to contract negotiations, doesn't he?
Throwing is Garoppolo on third down. And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. That sack courtesy of Jack Campbell.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Yeah, they just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of them. Here's A.J. Cole now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Take it at the 37. Call it a 48-yard punt. Give them 9, though, on the return. And the Lions will take over. David Montgomery and the Lions about set to begin this next series. He's up over 100 yards, and he'll be looking to get in the end zone again.
Has a tremendous nose for it, doesn't he? The ability to pile up yardage and find the end zone, that's the combination you want in your runner.
That's a combination any coach wants, and we'll see if he can find that end zone once more. And they nearly sprung him that time as he takes this all the way down to the 37. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards, and moves the sticks. He continues to have a big night here under the lights carrying the football.
And some guys prefer night games. For whatever reason, their bodies react a certain way. They love the spotlight. Maybe that's what it is. The best seats in the house, the ones where he's carrying the football for his offensive teammates. The worst seats, the 11 guys trying to tackle him on defense.
Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
It went right back to him, but he pretty much had nowhere to go on that play.
Yeah, the previous carry looked pretty good. That one, maybe he was a little tired. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he should have tapped out and had a second back come in and maybe make that run. Who knows?
One quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now at Ford Field. From the 35, here's a 2nd and 8. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. And not much running room. Down to the 32. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. On 3rd down, they go Montgomery. And he'll be stopped well short. Only 2 yards there. 4th and 3.
Well, this was just simply excellent defense. On this 3rd down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football, and they just swarmed and stuffed them for almost no gain.
They'll break the huddle here and go for it. This is 4th down. Gets it out quickly here to the left flank. And he is going to have the Lions first down as they'll wind up getting the yards they needed on 4th and 3. It's a gain of 4 that time. And it's good enough for a Detroit first down. First down, here's the run to Montgomery. And he's able to motor his way down to the 16-yard line. It's a gain of 10 for the Lions and a first down. The running game continues to be a big part of their success here early in the 4th quarter.
And with those types of runs, that tells you that they feel very confident in their running game. They feel very strong at this stage of the contest, and they want to keep doing exactly what we saw there, running the ball down their throat.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. Finally, defensively, they have a little clip to show positive for actually stopping him running the football.
It's been a really long night for them, hasn't it? So they got a little bit of a win there, but let's face it, the vision that he's had running the football has carried his feet to the open spaces and to big yardage all night long.
Quick hitter here, it's complete. That was the 8th play of the drive, so a somewhat fitting pickup of 8 yards.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helped to have a guy who can turn it loose, and boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
Here comes play number 9 now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. Gone. He'll leave it for Montgomery complete. They'll wind up losing a couple yards here on the play, and it'll be 4th down.
Excuse my snarkiness here, but isn't the idea of completing a pass supposed to mean you get downfield and gain yards?
Especially on 3rd down.
Yeah, that one. How about the defense? Figured that one out in a big way. Yeah, they completed it all right and lost yardage.
On 4th down, Goff to the sidelines, and Detroit has Riley Patterson out there for the field goal. Patterson's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So they put together a good little drive there, but ultimately stalling out in the red zone.
Yeah, I know a lot of people look at it as a little bit of a negative. They didn't get 6 points out of it, right? Didn't get the touchdown. But that's actually okay. They got 3 points, able to give their defense a little bit of rest, let them settle down over there. So all in all, to me, that's a good drive.
Nothing here.
And Patterson back out there to send this one away. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Raiders offense ready to go. But we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
Just a gain of a couple there, and that's going to bring up 2nd down.
I know it was a gain, but you have to sense probably a little bit of disappointment there because when it's out there in open space, I think they expect to get more out of a play, don't you?
Especially when you're getting it to your guy out of the backfield. You're expecting him to be able to create something, be a little more shifty.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Good open field tackling held it to an okay game.
Throwing again on second down, but this time it's incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
The offense on third down tonight, they've converted just twice and have had plenty of opportunities. This is 3rd and 8. The slant connects with Devontae Adams. And he is going to have the Raiders first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
That's not the first time they've looked his way when they've needed a big play. He's been the go-to guy all game long. And they get the hook up again on third down to keep this drive alive.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Garoppolo again. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
So many times when we talk about coverage, we're just about a defender running with a receiver, but a big part of it is understanding where the football is, finding it. In this case, when it arrived, it wasn't a surprise, and he was able to bat it away.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. To throw, it's Garoppolo. And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down. Aleem McNeil able to drop him that time for his 2nd sack of the evening.
Pardon my vocabulary isn't that great, but to me, there's only one word that fits this front seven today, and that's dominant. 4 and 5 sacks is already rare in one game. Getting to more than 6 in one contest while winning by this many points, an absolutely astounding effort by every player involved.
So the sack of Garoppolo, and now what can they come up with on 3rd and long? Now back to throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
We're going to give out a little applause on that play. It has to go to the defense. More good work by them. They've taken away the passing lanes all game long, and you can see the frustration that it's causing because he just about threw that one into the first row.
Here's A.J. Cole now, standing right on his own 5-yard line. And he fields it cleanly. It's a 43-yard punt, a return of 5, and out will come the offense as they take over. Detroit's offense ready to take over. Not that any of the points would be needed, but CD, they've got enough time left here. They can definitely score on this drive, maybe even an ensuing drive as well, if they really want to drive home this landslide victory.
Yeah, we're certainly about to see just how aggressive they want to be here down the stretch, and what some coaches do is they try and meet it halfway. Meaning they want to continue to run their offense, but they'll put in a lot of backups to do it and then tell the opposing coach, hey, I had to get them some work too. I can't just let them sit over on the sidelines all the time.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. They'll keep pounding here with Montgomery. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. 8 yards there on the carry, and now they're left with a much more manageable 3rd and 3.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
They'll run it. Here's Montgomery. And able to pick up the first across midfield to the 47. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
Montgomery with a good game there, and he broke 800 yards for the Bears' NFL best ground game last season. Divisional rival Detroit took notice and brought him in to boost their growing offense.
Montgomery on the counter. And he'll work down inside the 45.
In order to play really good run defense when you're playing a 3-4, those 3 guys up front, the nose tackle and the guys they call the defensive ends, they're usually big people because they're going to have to eat up a lot of blockers because it's usually 5 on 3. And when they do their job well, guys who play on the inside, those inside linebackers, they're able to just roam and hit.
Oh, that one well designed as he'll take this down to the 30-yard line. It's a gain of 14 and a first down for Detroit. Another example of this offense really having their way, Charles, and another big chunk play there on the ground.
And when you look at the defense, they've got to do a much better job of wrapping up when they tackle. A lot of great opportunities continue to slip through their fingers, as do the runners.
They'll try the air now with Goff. He completes it to Jones. So just 3 yards on the completion there, and it's second down. Now it's Goff. He's got right on the short throw. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6. They're trying to keep the drive going. This will be play number 8. It's 3rd and 2. Goff now looking to throw. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he is out of bounds. Looks like right at the 15. 8th catch for him now. He's been a big factor. And it's a first down.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the 4th, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and go like turtle at this point. You can just go ahead and play.
And he has his receiver. That's Jones. Lions touchdown. Marvin Jones, his 2nd touchdown of the night. And the Lions continue to pour it on here in the 4th. When coaches come into a game preaching total team effort, CD, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were clicking in all 3 phases. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes in the NFL you end up with matchups like we've been watching here. And when you go back to the early drives, you can just see that one squad was on a different level in this game. Safe to say, we have been disappointed in watching their execution throughout this contest.
And Patterson back out there to send this one away. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. The Raiders have the ball back, and here comes Devontae Adams to the field again. He's been a load for them to handle defensively, I know that much.
But look at him. He's got 7 catches on the game, and he's starting to shred them a little bit because not only is he catching them, he's picking up good yardage, keeping the chains moving, ball control, you name it. This big guy, what did you say? He's been a load for them to handle?
That's right.
Agreed.
7 catches, as you said, over 100 yards. Here's a 2nd and 3 now from the 33. Working from the gun, Garoppolo. To the right side, here's Mayer. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Give him a first down, 15 yards that time for the Raiders. Well, I mean, look, obviously there's no 20 or 30-point play in that playbook, but they can try to end things here on a positive note despite trailing big, and that looks like what they're trying to do here by pushing the ball downfield.
Well, let me go with the heavy cliche then, partner. Just control what you can control right now, and all they can control here is how their final plays develop.
And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
And yet again, it's Garoppolo. A quick throw there is incomplete. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
Now Garoppolo is in trouble, and down he goes. Derek Barnes bringing the pressure yet again. That's his 3rd sack here tonight.
Well, we all know this quarterback had to spend plenty of time studying prior to the game, but he has to be tired of seeing these guys, especially him. 3rd time now he's brought this quarterback down. Whole defense has had a great game, but 3 sacks, Not hard to find who one of the leaders of that effort was.
Here's A.J. Cole now as he's on to punt for Las Vegas. And he'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. And Detroit getting set to go now. This has really just been a lopsided affair. What a performance they put on, and now they get the football back here with a big lead in the fourth quarter. On the pass, we might be discussing dinner plans, talking about steak and sushi, whatever the case is, CD. This ball game is pretty much well in the books.
Yeah, we really could have started bringing up dinner a long time ago if we wanted to, partner. And I think a few of the guys out on the field already making plans for the evening.
They'll go to Montgomery to try to wind some clock. And he'll take it ahead to the 28-yard line.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
Again, they'll go ground with Montgomery. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. He'll get a dozen there, and the Lions have a first down. He continues to be a major factor carrying the football here into the fourth quarter, Charles.
Another big gain on the ground. Big guys working strong up front. A lot of them not just taking care of business at the line of scrimmage, but getting into the linebacker spots and taking care of the second level as well.
And they're taking advantage of everything right now on the scoreboard with that lead. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on 2nd down. Well, they'll take that every time with a lead, first down, fourth quarter, getting 8 yards. You love that.
They will take it, and you have to ask the defensive guys, why did you give it? I mean, you know the situation. You're down, have to stop them, have to get the football back, but 8 yards on first down puts them back on their heels.
Well, partner, under the lights in primetime, this offense, they gave the nation quite a show, putting up that many points to come away with what will certainly be a memorable win for them.
And, Brandon, I think it's as simple as this. Some players, some teams, they're just meant for the big stage. And when they get a chance to play in this type of atmosphere where all eyes are on them and all the lights are shining brightly, they show up and they show out.
So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. And this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. It's a win for the Lions as we say so long from Ford Field.